Hey everybody, welcome to episode 43 of Answers to Questions. I'm John T. Meyer, and in this episode we talk about web of content. So what is a web of content? At Lemonly, we think of it as you build out a piece of content. The center of it is your most valuable piece of content. It's gonna solve the problems, the pain points of your audience, your customer, your user, depending on your industry. You've hopefully done some research, you've asked them questions of what their pain points are, and you solve that with that center piece of content. Then what you're going to do is deconstruct that piece of content and build out a web. So at the center, it could have been an infographic, a microsite, a video, a podcast. And then your ancillary pieces of content could be a small image on Instagram, a GIF on Facebook, an 8.5 by 11 printout for your face-to-face meeting, or a trade show banner. You can take that center core value piece of content and split it up into all these different other pieces of content. That's what we consider the web. So why create a web of content? Well, the first part is probably obvious. People consume content in very different ways. Some people want to listen to a podcast. Some people want to watch a video. Some people want to read a blog post or an ebook. So do your research and make sure you know where your audience lives. If you're a retail brand, you definitely want to be visual. You're going to be on Instagram and Facebook, maybe run some ads. If you're more professional services, possibly LinkedIn, blog post, or ebook. So think about, of course, who your audience is and where they consume content, and then build your web around them. You don't need all the pieces of the web, you just need the right ones. So you're building the content to where your audience lives and how they want to consume it, but also we can save time and we can save money. So you make that first investment in that initial core piece of content. After that, the other pieces become very effective and efficient to build out. And lastly, the why. If you think about how many times it takes to see a message before you decide to act on it, brands are super good at this. If you see a piece of content possibly on Facebook, then you go to Instagram and you see it again. Then all of a sudden you're listening to your favorite podcast, and guess what? You hear an ad about the product or service. By building out that web, you get more impressions and you get more kind of at-bats to get in front of your customer. All right, and lastly, how to build out your web of content. So you've researched what your customer or user's pain or problem is. You know which channels they consume content. You've done that research, and now you're ready to actually build it. So after that anchor piece, that core piece of content is done, use it, right? Use that same style. Cut up those source files if you're the designer. Take the podcast and have your CEO read it on video. So take that existing content and start to chop it up. So if you're doing it in-house, follow the plan of building it out. If you're using a freelancer, make sure you get the source files, pay for them if you need to. And if you're using Lemonly, we not only build out the plan, but we also then take that core piece of content and inherently build out all the other parts of the web. So that was the what, why, and how of web of content. If you have questions, leave a comment below. Start building your web today.